Hi everyone, Angela here. Welcome to my class. Today we're going to be covering a plastic comb with some satin fabric. You're going to need some satin fabric, a plastic comb, a marking pen with disappearing ink, sharp scissors, a glue stick, a few small clips, needle and thread, and preferably a quilting ruler. You'll also need an iron and an ironing board. The first thing we need to do is cut out a piece of fabric to cover the top part of this comb. We need to cut it out on the bias of the fabric so that it'll have a little bit of stretch to go over the top of the comb. Make sure the selvage has been cut away and your side is straight and your bottom edge is square to the side. We'll also mark the fabric with the right side up. From the corner, take a measurement. I'm going to do 6 inches and just place a little mark on the edge, and then from the corner again, taking the same measurement, place a mark on the other edge. Now join those two marks and you'll have your 45-degree bias line. You now have to measure around the top of that comb. So the front is just less than ½ an inch, same with the back, and the top is about 1/8. So I need 1 inch and 1/8 to go around, but I'll make it 1 1/4 inch to be safe because bias cut fabric can stretch and narrow out a bit. Now draw another parallel line 1 1/4 inch from that first line. Square off the top. And then measure across the full width of the comb. This one is 4½ inches, so measure down 4½ and square off. I now have to add to both of the long sides 3/4 inch. And then add 1/4 inch to both of the short sides. Now cut out your fabric along all the outer lines. Over on your ironing board, flip the fabric to the wrong side. Try not to stretch it and fold up and press the 3/4 inch sides. Notice that the edges overlap a little bit in the center. Take your glue stick and apply the glue along one edge. And then press down in the center. The reason why the center is overlapped is so that when it's covering the comb, it just gives it a thicker, smoother finish. Now you can sew a holding stitch along the sides so that the center edges don't come apart. Now join your folded edges with right sides together, and we're going to stitch down that side with the 1/4 inch seam allowance. You can sew right over that holding stitch, making sure to back stitch at the start and finish of your seam. And now sew the other end. Without a holding stitch is fine. Now trim both side seams down to 1/8 inch and just clip off the corners a little bit, making sure not to cut into the stitching. Now turn to the right side, pushing out those corners so that you can get it nice and square. Now with the back of the comb facing you, put it into the fabric so that the seams are all at the back of the comb. This way the front of the comb will be nice and smooth. Put a clip on the end to hold it in place, and then do the same thing for the other side with the seams all at the back. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this video. Put a clip onto this end as well, and now even out your fabric and put a clip in the center. Okay, now for the fun part, I've got my 1½ inch long needle threaded with a double thread in blue so you can see what I'm doing, and just a small knot at the end. I like to hold the comb so that the front of the comb is facing left. Starting at the back, put your needle just under the top of the fold, and you're going to push the needle through that first opening straight across and catch the other fold. Your needle literally sits right on the edge of the top of the comb, and that'll be a nice guide for you to sew with. So push through pull your needle and thread, and then wrap it around that same opening again, and do the same thing. Come around again, pull tight, and then come around that first opening again. Now put your needle below that second opening and push your needle straight through again, catching the other side under the fold, and bring your thread back through that second opening again and pull tight. And then place your needle just under that third opening, again straight through, pull tight, and then thread back over that third opening. Pull tight again, and now you're putting your needle through the fourth opening, straight through, and pull back through that same opening again. Okay, so you continue this process till you get close to the end. Just make sure that when you push your needle through, you're going straight across. So your stitching in the front looks pretty much like it's straight up and down, and at the back, it looks like it's on a bit of an angle. Okay, so now you've come right to the other end, and when you get to that last opening, you want to stitch around twice for some extra strength. Push your needle through the back fabric, create a loop, and then thread your needle through so that you create a knot. Do that twice for extra security, and then pop your needle through the back fabric and out the top, so that'll hide the end of the thread when you cut it off. And there you have it, your fabric covered comb that's wrapped neatly all around. And this is what it should look like with matching thread. Again, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Until next time, happy sewing.